Good morning, everyone. I've come into the church today because it just seemed to be so appropriate to share this with you. The first reading today is from St. Paul's letter to Titus, and he says, "You must preach the behavior which goes with healthy doctrine." So it seemed appropriate that I should come to the Ambo where one would normally preach from. But the words that he has to say are so significant. I'm going to read quite a lot of them to you today, which and hopefully you can get the nuance and the gist of what he's actually trying to present. He says, older men should be reserved, dignified, moderate, sound in faith and love and constancy. Similarly, older women should behave as though they were religious. I find that interesting. I should rather they should behave as religious, but anyway, with no social mongering, no scandal mongering rather, and no habitual wine drinking. Oh dear. They are to be the teachers of the right behavior to show younger women how they should love their husbands and love their children. And in the same way, men, you have got to persuade the younger men to be moderate, and in everything you do, make yourself an example to them of working for good. Now, quite often I run into people and they'll say, look, we raised our kids as good Catholics and they've drifted from the church. Yeah, well, we understand that sometimes people run into influences outside of the church, which move them in different directions. If we think about the people who were in the exile, it was one of the difficulties that they had is when they went off to Babylon. There they were encountering all sorts of other pagan religions, and many of the men and women were marrying into other religions, and it was causing difficulties for Judaism. So yes, we do have those other factors around us. Nevertheless, what we're saying here is, and St. Paul is saying, continue to set the example, and if possible, try to speak nicely to them, to try to keep them on track. It says we must be self-restrained and live good and religious lives here in the present world, while we are waiting in hope for the blessing which will come with the appearing of the glory of our God, great God and Savior Jesus Christ. So it's a question of simply saying we've got to set the example and we mustn't compromise in terms of what those values are. You have yourselves a good day, and we'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.